What's up, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube. Today, I would like to say I have all exciting news. What's going on in the world is not exciting. We'll get to that. But I did just want to give an update on my channel. I tried to go live 3 or 4 times today. The streaming software just kept lagging, it kept messing up. And I was like, forget it. I'm just going to record it. So that's what I'm doing. Um, You are going to notice I have two cameras. You can already see cards here, but I have two different cameras. That's another issue I had because I was going to use a different streaming software and it's a pain. I've already paid for this one, so I wasn't paying for another one just to use two cameras. I was like, oh my goodness. So that's what I've been doing since this morning, literally. Just trying to get this stuff to work. So I do have a screen up here, and I just think it's important. I've been saying I was going to do this on this channel, but I haven't. And I do think it's important to let people know what they're looking for. Flight Radar is free. I do pay, and I'm fixing to put chapstick on while I'm doing it on live or on recording, but I do pay. It's like $5 a month, I think. You can pay, I mean, I think it's like $20 a year. It's real cheap for Flight Radar to be able to take everything but military aircraft off, which is what I have. What I've highlighted in red, which is right here, is something that I think is important if people don't know what they're looking for. Um, by far, you don't have to know every plane. This plane right here is called Boeing E6B Mercury. This is our command and control plane. These planes right here can control all of our ICBM bombs, or our, they're not ICBM, I guess they are Minuteman, whatever they are, the things in the ground, the nukes. If something was to happen to our ground forces, and my dogs are fixing to bark because something's going on outside, I'm not editing all this because it's crazy. Hang on one second. I'm going to mute so I can scream at them. Okay, I hope that muted. Um, but these planes also go out and talk to, if you look over here at this blue line, they use very low frequency. If you've heard of an EAM, that is a code that's sent to our nuclear forces. They don't all the time have to be submarines, but these go out and talk to the submarines. They have to use very low frequency to penetrate through the ocean. Their nuclear attack options. Of course, we haven't had a nuclear war, so even though they're giving these attack options, that does not mean, that's exactly what's going on. No, they're not test. They don't do testing on the stations. It's like, I can't remember the stations now, but you have to have a very low frequency radio to pick them up. But anyways, they're like alphanumeric. They do A is an alpha, B is a boy. It doesn't spell out anything. It's a code that they figure out which box they have to unlock to actually get the message. When they're real important. Before that, I don't know because they don't always unlock a box. But if you've ever watched Crimson Tide, then it kind of tells you what that is. But I believe that it's important for people to know what these planes look like. There usually is one up, but there's been five and six up a day. Somebody's going to tell you that's normal. That is not normal. These planes cost a lot to fly. They do not fly five and six a day just to do it. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's not normal. It may have been the normal over the past 6 months, but it's not on a normal basis. What happens? Um, it's not to scare people, but it is so that you know what's going on. I hear people all the time. I'm not dependent on our government to tell us if anything's going on. Well, you're not dependent on that. And you're also not paying attention to what's going on. There is a lot going on in Israel. It's a terror attack. I'm almost sure it's biblical. I know some people are saying it's not. I can't swear. I mean, I don't know where it says exactly this happens in the Bible. I mean, I don't think God tells us everything that's going to happen. I do think it's leading up to the, you know, well, I hope to not be here then, but when Russia and whoever else, I'm sure Iran, goes up against Israel, I don't think it's right this second, no. Um, we have sent ships, and everybody's like, well, we're just doing that to get our people. No, if you go look, and I'll let y'all research that on news sites, and I always find more than one. I don't just go by one. I do three, four, five, or six. You know, that way I can make sure. But if there's that many sources, then you know, at least most of it's true. But we're sending a very big aircraft carrier over there. We're sending submarines. We're sending attack things over there, planes and stuff. They already have weapons that we've been supplying, giving them weapons to stock up on for years. So, but I think they're going to need help because they are being attacked from all sides. I guess I thought Jordan was in Israel. I was wrong. I'm guessing. Even they're planning, I guess, to attack Israel, but they're not just being attacked. If you get on Twitter, and I'm not fixing to show it because I had a panic attack. I just sat here trying to figure out why God decided to let the people He let live in America live here because I hear people complain, oh, that's their problem all the time. If I will punch somebody in the face if I hear them say that, please go look at what they're doing to these people. Have you not seen the people that's crossed our border? You don't think they won't do it to your kids? You're crazy. They don't like Americans. They don't like anybody, I don't think. I don't think they care who it is. They just want I don't know what they want to do. Kill, I guess, but that's the closest thing to the devil I've seen, I think, in my life. And there's going to be worse, and I don't even. Anyway, I think we all just need to pray for these people. I mean, even if you, please don't tell me if you're against Israel, but even if you are, like, if you're for, if you're for anything that these people are doing to these kids and stuff, I don't, I can't, I don't. Anyway, I can't even talk about it, but because I will start crying. But it it's sickening, and it's not something I can't just turn it off because I feel like okay, yeah, we just turn it off and it goes away. It doesn't go away for them. I understand that I can't drive myself crazy with it, but I have a different way of thinking. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying anybody else is wrong. I'm just saying that I just can't just say, oh well, I'm not. I can't. Okay, so anyway, that's that. But what I was coming for my channel, and been going to do this. I was waiting until I got these cards. And I'm not discussing all of whatever because somebody's going to come tell me it's evil and all this. I fought with myself for many, many years on a lot of this stuff. I didn't read about it, and I really should have. A Christian man actually made these cards, these Rider Waite cards. Most of these have biblical references. This is not about being psychic, it's about intuition. There's also other issues that I have with people talking about meditating, channeling, and everything else, and energies because God is energy. He is a spirit, He is energy. I do believe that we have been suppressed on what we can know our human power is. Um, I've also fought with myself on why am I explaining to God what I'm doing because He knows my heart and He knows what I'm doing. I also think that people took the word black magic and made everything magic that they didn't understand and made it evil. And I don't think that God thinks that. I think He has common sense. I'm not saying that everything is of God. I'm just saying that the way somebody chooses to communicate with God is none of anybody's business. They are called tarot cards. I'm sure there are tarot cards that are evil. There's everything that's made something that's evil, okay? However, if you go read the Rider Waite about these cards and read, I'm not going over it today, I was going to, but what these are. And in fact, if you go to Alicia Wicker's Moon Manor, um, she will give you all the biblical references on these cards. These cards are used for intuition. They were used for self confidence, intuition, and going with your gut. Um, it helps, it just builds up a lot of self confidence. Um, I will get into what I have discovered that I think is true. If you want to know before then, the person that I started watching, and I would never watch this stuff, this girl right here is like, I mean, I don't worship her. She does not want anybody to worship her. I thank her very much for opening my eyes. She does not force anybody. She makes a lot of sense to me. If she doesn't to you, it's fine, whatever. I don't want to hear anything. Don't say nothing bad about her to me because I will probably go off on you. To each their own. But it's called The Reckoning Co. Co. The Reckoning Co. I'll probably pull it up on Facebook, on YouTube. She don't have Facebook. She just got a TikTok. I have TikTok just mainly because of her, because she does a little bit over there, but she makes a lot of sense to me. Um, and there's been things I've thought about for a long, long time that all of a sudden they made sense to me. Because there's a lot of things that I've thought about, like I don't understand what that makes no sense to for people to say this is this way or that because that don't make sense to me and it hasn't. There's just been a couple of things and I will go over that later. It doesn't matter if you just feel, I mean, if your gut feeling tells you that this is whatever, then whatever. But I would suggest you read. You can make anything evil, but I would just suggest you read about tarot, and where it come from, like the beginning. Um, like I said, I would never 5 years. I mean, you would this is something that I didn't really think I would ever do, because of course I've been told it was evil, but some things we just have to search for ourselves. There are some things I think we, I mean, I just think that we have to use our intuition, our gut feeling sometimes. And I feel like God has common sense and knows our heart. I don't need to explain it to anybody else because when I die, you're not judging me. Thank the Lord. So, um, like I said, I'm not being mean to anybody. I'm just telling anybody that for once in my life, I feel the way I feel. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to pay attention to any negativity. Just keep it moving. You don't even have, I mean, don't, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, I don't want you to. I'm not trying to beg people to do this or anything else. I'm just figuring there's some people that feel like me. I'm very new with this. I do not. There are people that are way better than me. Ashley's one of them. Her name is Ashley. Reckoning Coup. Alicia um, Whitaker is another one that I like. These cards right here, they're called True Crime Oracle, True Crime and Conspiracy Oracle deck. I love these cards. Um, these cards are, Alicia actually makes some like this too, but and the people that make their own cards, they are more expensive because they're not a mass production, so it costs them a lot more money to produce these cards. But I got these off of Timu. Be careful because I bought some off Timu that was actually a girl that they have been stealing her pattern stuff. A bunch of different people have, and I guess there's individuals that sell on Timu too. Anyways, I ended up buying her cards. It was some kind of situations deck is what it's called, and literally, like I did not know that she only sold her stuff on Etsy. I didn't even know they were her cards until I got them. I thought it was a mass production company, so just be careful when you're getting off Timu. The reason I found her is because her personal card, they actually copied too and put it in the deck. And I went to her YouTube and then listened to her YouTube where she was saying that people were stealing her stuff. She only sells it on Etsy. I was like, oh my God. And I mean, her cards, because she's not a mass production, I mean, they were selling them very cheap, compared. So, I literally am gonna give her money on when I get paid because I feel awful because I mean I didn't know that, but still, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. If you produce your own cards, you don't have a company in the middle of your house that's mass producing them. It costs money. It costs a good bit of money, especially if you're just an individual person. But anyways, these have the meanings of the upside down and the reverse and the upright. And if you don't know anything about tarot, then that's probably not going to make sense to you right now. Yeah, I know it sounds horrible because my plan was to go over this and actually show some of the stuff. I'm not just because I'm exhausted. I've been watching this Israel stuff. I haven't been able to. I mean, I was just sitting there I could not believe what was going on. I mean, it's the same in Ukraine, terrorist or terrorist. This is the way this happens. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, I don't. I mean, it's just a lot. There's a lot going on, a lot, and it's not to scare anybody. I'm not scared about it. What's going to happen is going to happen. We can prepare for it. I want to know before it happens, or whatever. But there's no sense in freaking out about it, and there's no sense in not having a plan because if you don't have a plan, everybody is going to freak out, and it's going to cause mass chaos, and you're not going to be able to get out. If you are in New York or somewhere where you need to get out, you need to have a plan. Where's your kids at? What time of day do they get home? Where are they at this time? Where are they at that time? So there's not mad chaos, or you're going to be blown up because you're not going to have time to get out because you may have 30 to 45 minutes at max. So I just think it's better to have a plan and never use it than to not have one and need it. Um, the fact is, there's a lot of people that will live through a nuclear war because, like where I'm at in Alabama, there's not really anything unless Putin. Well, I mean, they do just shoot, but I mean, it would. I don't know that he would end up hitting. I mean, right here where I'm at, it would take a lot. There's no reason for him to even be. There's too many military targets, and this is not one. So I mean, more than likely you're going to live, but there's fallout that could be around, like because in Huntsville there is a place where, uh, you know, but I'm just saying you need water. The stores are not going to be open if anything was to happen, and there's no sense in freaking out. You just prepare and make sure you got what you need, and then you don't have to worry about it, and you have a plan. So that way, if you know your kids on the bus at 3:20, you know that bus route. You know where to go get them in case you have to go get them off the bus because you've got to get out of there. Just have a plan. It doesn't hurt to have a plan. It's not going to help you any to just not think about it and not plan because that's not going to stop it from happening. So it's crazy to me. Just make a plan and be done with it. You don't have to terrify your kids about it. Just tell them in the case of an emergency, if they're too young to talk about nuclear, I would not flip them out and make them have bad dreams right now. There's no sense, okay? They're going to hear enough bullcrap as it is. I would just tell them in case there's a state of emergency, anything, tell them, I mean, about a fire, and it could be a fire, a tornado, or anything, just any kind of emergency, a flood, anything. You're not lying to them, but you don't have to like flip them out, especially if they don't even understand what a nuclear weapon is. There's no sense in trying to explain that to a 5-year old. Just tell them in case of a state of emergency, in case, something's happening where the flood and we've got to leave our home or something. There's ways to do this, and it doesn't have to be that difficult. But if you look at what's going on around us, then you just want to be, and even if not, our power grid could go out. I mean, there's a million things that can happen. And I didn't know anything about an EMP. I'm not going there because I will flip some people out. But I mean, it did me. I mean, I didn't know what the hell that was. I mean, I thought, well, we knew everything we need to be worried about, But there's always something you can worry about. But I just, and I'm not all the way prepared like I need to be, at all. But I'm just saying that we all just need to try to just do what we can to be prepared, have at least some kind of plan so that it's not such chaos because it's already going to be chaos because people are blind and not paying attention and oh God, it's just but I am like merging a channel. I did not start a new. I'm not starting a new YouTube because I'm still going to be doing deception stuff like um yep, my mind went blank. Exposing it, deception and stuff like that. I will use tarot somewhat to help explain. Okay, y'all, I'm not even gonna try to edit that. My father-in-law come in here because he needs clothes in the dryer. They drive me crazy because they will say the same thing a million times. But anyway, for the 20th time, I'm gonna put the clothes in the dryer. But I'm not going back trying to edit this because y'all, I'm telling you, I'm just too tired. And this is my real life, and I don't edit a whole lot. This is my reality. I, if I had 10 million subscribers, I still wouldn't because I'm not an actress. I'm on YouTube. This is you know what I mean? It's a podcast. Stuff happens. Dogs bark, kids say something, people walk in, stuff happens. I mean, if somebody come in like cussing or something real bad, I would, but I'm not fixing to go back and try. I don't edit. I hate editing. Um, Only thing I can say is if somebody really wants to listen to my podcast thing and they don't like it, then hopefully their editor, you know what, have it. I just don't edit. Um, I know that probably sounds lazy. I mean, I just don't like it. I'm not good at it. I don't think, and I just don't like it. I'm just not patient enough to edit. I also don't believe in editing life. Like that's what makes people seem real to me. Having real life, having to stop because not everything is perfect. You can't just sit and do something and never get interrupted. It doesn't happen. So, um, I was trying to think of anything else I was going to tell. Um, anyway, I was talking about the channel. The channel is, or the name, it's going to say Deception Dismantled. But it's going to be Deception Dismantles, like plural, echoes of clarity. So deception dismantles echoes of clarity. And echoes of clarity is just what it says. I mean, I will get into this more, and that's why I worried about having two cameras up because it's better when you can see somebody shuffle cards. People that are into tarot know what I'm saying because they like to see people shuffle them, because whatever, whatever. So it's better to have two cameras. I don't like being on camera at all. I do not like it. I look like an Oompa Loompa. I just don't like being on camera. There's plenty of other pretty things to look at than looking at me, but most people like to see people when they're talking. So, and I'm not looking at that camera talking. I'm looking at wherever. But anyways, this is the way I will do it when I'm doing this or whatever. It's easier for me to have two cameras just because it is. But I did want to go ahead and do this update because I've been putting it up, trying to do a live for 2 days to do this. So I know everybody's like, well, God, how many times is she going to do this live and not do it? So hopefully this will upload. Again, y'all just stay checking the news. I told you about Ashley. You can go, Alicia's on YouTube too, but you can go to the Moon Manor, Alicia Whitaker, and she's got cards and stuff. She's actually got some tarot classes. Ashley is very good, especially with intuition and stuff. Like she's very positive. It is very, very positive. And that's the other thing. All they're talking about pretty much is energy and energy. Our spirit is energy. I mean, there are people that will come out of their mind and what they've been programmed to know. I think to open up to this, a lot of people have, and then there are some that will stay programmed or whatever, and that's fine too. I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying that a lot of things weren't making sense to me, and it's not like, oh, I just started feeling like this. I felt like this for a while, um, and so you know, I could be wrong, just like everybody. Again, I had to mute again because anyway, I'm fixing to be done with this because I'm not gonna be able to do this. I can't stand nobody calling my name 15,000 times while I'm doing it. I was getting done anyway. But I was just giving an update on this. I haven't posted in a while. I do have subscribers. So my channel took off. I think TikTok somewhat because I have more people looking at my stuff on TikTok than I do on YouTube. I think, but I think that's how I got a lot of subscribers. I'm not sure. I've tried to pay attention. There's just been so much going on that I haven't. It's just been a whirlwind. And then when it did calm down yesterday or Friday night, here Friday night was Saturday morning, and that's when that stuff started in Israel. And I've not. I've been. I haven't. I mean, I've just been sitting here stuttering like this. So Y'all just, like I said, find a news source that you agree with. I do KLW News. Now, that is going to be a preferred thing because he is very strict. He is very intelligent, Lee is, and he can be a smart butt, and some people cannot handle that. He does not like BS in his chat. If you come in just making a statement, you know what I mean? You don't want to go toe to toe with him unless you've done your research and you know what you're talking about. Because he does know, and I do take up for him pretty much because he does tell the truth, and at least we know what's going on. So if you're able to handle, and he cusses when he gets really upset because he don't like terrorists, of course, like anybody else. People killing kids, it affects him, and people come in and say stupid things, and he gets mad. But that's KLW News on Rumble. He doesn't get on YouTube all the time, but Duramax is on YouTube. He does the EAMs too. That's the only other person I know besides Lee that does them. Just search Duramax, Duramax. And then New York Prepper, he does prep. He is Christian based, but he does the news. He doesn't just talk about prepping. He does have some nuclear war stuff that gives you all the locations for the main targets for Europe and America. So NY Prepper on YouTube, you can search those and find them. Um, I would say I would try to link them, but they're taking out the links of YouTube. So I'm just mentioning them in the chat. All you got to do is search NY Prepper or Duramax, Durmax. Go to Rumble, search KLW News. You can search him on YouTube too. You'll find him, but he gets on Rumble most of the time more. He's got a news network. Um, I'll let him tell you about that. Just if everything goes down, his network will still work because he will be using ham radios. So I don't understand all of that. So if that's interest to you, those to me are good news sources. They don't lie. I haven't had any issues, you know. Um, if you're watching mainstream media, I don't know what to tell you because half the time they do live. No, they don't lie all the time, but I would just find another news source you trust. I can't tell you who to trust. That's going to be up to you. If you ask me my opinion, I will tell you. So if you want it, ask me. If you don't ask me because I'm going to tell you facts like I want told to me. So that's that. I will update this channel some more and do more with what I want to do it with. It's just a lot going on right now. If you've been watching, you know, and just, you know, like I said, make a plan, have something together, have water, have things, you know, that you'll need. Anyway, y'all have a good Sunday evening, and I will be back sometime this week to do a little bit more. Let me calm down a little bit. I don't know this war in Israel is going to calm down, but let me calm down from it just a little bit, and I will do something hopefully live on the channel. So y'all have a good evening, and I will see y'all sometime this week. Please, if you feel called to, or if you want to, like and subscribe my channel. Of course, I think I took out half the banner. Look, my stuff has not been working with me, but my banner just says hello. Please like and subscribe my channel. I don't ever say share. If you want to share, but like and subscribe. That would be awesome. But again, y'all have a good Sunday evening. Just keep an eye on what's going on. And if y'all have any questions, you can just shoot me my emails on here, and you can just send me a comment on this or whatever, and I'll answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know, and I'll try to find it for you or point you in the direction of somebody who has it. Thank y'all. Have a good night.